Takeru is confident that Mari and Oka can be good friends one day. Mari has memory flashes that make her worried that she might have been evil in the past. Takeru assures her that if she becomes evil again, he'll find a way to turn her good again. The next day, Oka pulls her captain to the side, informing Takeru that Mari was accused of eliminating somebody, with too many of the details not adding up. During the second round of the mock battles, Oka and Takeru stay in between Mari's protector. Yoshimizu hobbles over to her captain, Kayoya, with him asking what's wrong with her. A black vine comes out of her stomach, piercing through his body, eliminating both students. Haunted appears from out of the rows, sneaking into the event, and soon multiple soldiers swarm the arena. He claims to be here to rescue Mari, trapping himself and the 35th platoon inside a magical barrier. Haunted reveals his twisted love for Mari and announces his intention to eliminate her. Takeru activates his Relic Eater and attacks, but Haunted is a more skilled swordsman and stabs him right in the chest. Lapis manages to heal this though. Ikaruga wakes up the unconscious Usagi by insulting her large breast. Still, one of her eyes is injured. Oka manages to contact the chairman and threatens to expose him for the crime of eliminating somebody, with evidence proving that the real culprit was Haunted's despair magic, whereas Mari was only using Arroyo magic. The chairman accepts her deal, as long as she keeps quiet. Lapis explains that Haunted is using the legendary item, Dansliff. Haunted removes Mari's amnesia spell, causing her to remember that Haunted kidnapped her friends from an orphanage and promised to keep them safe as long as she worked for Valhalla. He offers to let her see her friends if she leaves with him. Mari's about to do so, but Takeru sees through his lies, telling Mari that her friends are gone, with Haunted next confirming this. While Takeru's dueling Haunted, Mari's angrily casting a spell at Haunted, but she misses. As her necklace is about to explode from using magic, it's suddenly deactivated. Oka reveals that she has a deal with the chairman. Since Mari is innocent of the crime, her collar is turned off. Usagi has been out the fight this long because she was aiming her rifle, even with her injured eye. They distract Haunted so Mari can cast an extremely powerful spell, but misses again. However, she had actually been aiming for Takeru, who absorbed the spell into a sword. With him using this spell to defeat Haunted, Haunted reveals that he knows that Takeru is from the Demon Hunter clan before he disappears into a portal. Takeru collapses from exhaustion as the magical barrier disappears. Mari tearfully thanks him for keeping her safe, with her being so happy that she met him. In the hospital, Mari comes by to officially say that she's a part of the student body, with her next having a fight with Oka, with this one being about their breast size. Due to Usagi's poor grades, her mother announces that she plans to bring forward the date of her arranged marriage. She's against the idea and tries to plead with her mother, but her mother brushes her aside, saying that she's not even her mother. At school, the students are called into the auditorium. There, a student named Rima Temyoji begins to introduce the new event and festival rules. The academy begins its witch hunting festival, where students can earn extra credit and money. Takeru has a sly evil smile and immediately signs up the 35th platoon to the competition. Mari and Oka are questioning why Takeru is so desperate to win the competition. Ikaruga explains that it's for the cold hard cash, with this being in part because his parents left him with a huge amount of debt, and he has himself and his sister to support, so he's desperate for money. Usagi remembers what her mother said to her, with her having to quit the school in the month, thinking that her teammates don't need her anyways. But to her surprise, her friends are worried about her and ask where she's at, so she opens the door and decides not to tell everyone about her leaving. Another platoon captain walks in and asks Takeru would he be willing to form a small alliance with his platoon. Takeru likes the idea of having some backup in the competition. Usagi leaves, disagreeing, wanting her last event to be with her fellow platoon mates. As she's walking in the hallway, she bumps into Rima, with him being the organizer of the festival and also her cruel fiance, who thinks of her nothing more as property. Rima is Usagi's childhood friend, who's always mistreated her, even though they were children. He would often manipulate her into submitting to what he wanted, with him reminding her about the guilt of killing her brother, which was an honest freak accident. From multiple standpoints, Rima's an awful person, causing her to have a panic attack. Takeru manages to see this and comforts her, promising to help her before she passes out from fear. Meanwhile, Sendo Shizuka is from the student council, where they're meeting to talk to Oka. Oka is summoned to the council room to meet the youthful student council president, Nagaru Hoshijira, who wants her to deal with the legendary witch, Mephistopheles. This witch is famous for breaking people's minds. Takeru stays with Usagi in the hospital, as even in her sleep, she won't let go of his hand. When she wakes up, she blushes from learning this. Takeru offers to walk her back home. Meanwhile, Nagaru believes that Rima is somehow linked to Mephistopheles, as his transfer to the academy coincides with the elimination of several students, including one that had her mind broken. Takeru's concerned for Usagi, with him asking what's wrong. Usagi doesn't believe that he could help her, even if she told him, but he wants to know what happened. Usagi says that if that's the case, then he should marry her. Usagi tells Takeru about Rima, with her having to quit the school in a month. Takeru stops her from leaving, inviting Usagi back to his apartment for the night. While in the shower, Usagi believes that Takeru has plans to get her pregnant, with the idea of having a child before marriage seen as improper in her family's eyes, with this meaning she wouldn't be able to marry Rima, so she eventually decides to go along with the idea, thinking that this is a good idea. walking out with her towel, leaning into him, although Takeru had planned no such thing, and the two almost kiss, with her trying to tempt him in his living room. However, they are interrupted by Mari, Oka, and Ikaruga, who are stunned with what they're seeing. Mari's mad, with her thinking that he already had her, Oka thinking that he would never do such a thing, and Ikaruga upset that she wasn't invited, who in fits of jealousy, punished Takeru severely for not trying the same thing on them. Takeru asked the rest of the girls to help out Usagi by raising her grades enough to where she can stay in the school, so now they plan to do well in the festival and earn enough extra credit for Usagi. Ikaruga has the idea to plan a cosplay event at the festival, with all of them embarrassed by their costumes, and some I cannot show. Oka notices that Rima has had white symbols painted over the school. Rima reveals that Usagi killed her own brother, with this making her an outcast in her own family. Takeru grabs Rima and makes it very clear that he swears to protect Usagi. Rima shrugs it off, swearing he'll do whatever it takes to take her away. Oka uses her relic eater, Vlad, to see that the white paint is a giant magic circle designed to control people's minds. Rima confronts Usagi, and when he brings up the elimination of her brother, gives her another panic attack. President Nagaru releases her subordinate, Shizuka, as her mind has been broken, and they both draw their guns. Shizuka, having survived, reveals to Oka that she's Mistopheles, and with Rima's help, possesses Oka, who quickly deactivates Mira's Gleipnir necklace, allowing her to use magic again. Nagaru, who has survived, informs Takeru Mephistopheles struggles to control Oka's body, with the girl being a relic eater, and her soul refuses to die. Nagaru tells Takeru the Academy has Mephistopheles' original body that she wants back. Lapis locates Usagi in the Academy church. Takeru rushes over to save her, while Mira deals with the magic circle. Usagi dreams about her brother, who had been playing with a rifle, and when she tried to stop him, the trigger was pulled. Rima then used this to control her. She wakes up to Rima trying to do something terrible, with her fighting back, biting his neck. Furious by this, he tries to eliminate her, but Takeru breaks in and saves her. Usagi leaves to go help out Mari, while a furious Takeru is facing off against Rima. Usagi retrieves a rifle, with it belonging to her grandfather, and she was given 2 special bullets by Ikaruga, with this being able to destroy Mephistopheles. While Mari's dealing with a magical spell, Mephistopheles almost shoots her until Usagi stops her. Mephistopheles curses Usagi with a lust spell, causing everybody around her to attack her. Takeru easily defeats Rima, exposing him as a coward. Mephistopheles almost shoots Mari, but is stopped by Takeru. Mephistopheles reveals that she can also control Oka's relic eater, Vlad. Usagi arrives but is tricked by Mephistopheles, who claims that Takeru is now Mephistopheles, resulting in a standoff. As Usagi is unsure about who to shoot, Oka fights back to get her body, but they're now certain Usagi shoots Oka, expelling the curse, but they're then using the second bullet to shoot Mephistopheles directly, causing her to be eliminated. Mari succeeds in stopping the spell. Later, the 35th Platoon cosplay cafe is a disaster, as the girls' mean personalities drive the customers away. Usagi thanks Takeru, with her engagement being cancelled and her being allowed to stay at the school. Takeru rewards her by giving her a head pat. The chairman reveals to Ikaruga the Lost Matrix, the sole remaining cell of the Dark Elf, which the Alchemist Company are close to cloning to make a weapon. Ikaruga, whose family created her through genetic engineering to work for an alchemist, declares this to be impossible since the cell has been missing for years. The chairman suspects that she knows where the cell is hidden. The 35th Platoon does not have enough credits to pass the school year. While brainstorming some ideas to earn enough credits, Ikaruga announces that she's taking a leave of absence. Takeru finds it to be strange when she says goodbye, as she has never said so before. Everyone realizes that Ikaruga has been acting abnormal all day. Elsewhere, scientist Isuka Tsukinami, who betrayed her fellow alchemist and now works for Valhalla, talks to Haunted about her most recent failure in resurrecting the Dark Elves. Isuka receives a telepathic message from her sister, Ikaruga. Takeru and the girls follow Ikaruga, who disappears into the sewers. Ikaruga informs Isuka that she has the cell, and she's willing to do a trade if she's allowed to observe the future of the Dark Elves' experiments. It is also revealed that Ikaruga was about to be executed by the alchemist, so she stole the cell and fled to continue her own research in private. Takeru and the girls get lost, and they're almost shot by the mafia. They manage to rescue Ikaruga from some mercenaries, hired by Isuka to catch them. But Takeru and Ikaruga end up separated from the rest of the group, with his leaving Takeru wounded. Ikaruga takes him back to a nearby safe house, and she warns her sister that if anyone from the 35th Platoon becomes hurt because of her, she's willing to destroy the cell. Meanwhile, the chairman is informed by the alchemist they never authorized the research into resurrecting the Dark Elves, and concluding the laboratory doing so has gone rogue, giving the chairman 150 new dragons to help out, but she plans to thoroughly destroy the lab and all its research, gathering every knight and witch hunter at his disposal. The chairman declares war on the rogue laboratory. Oka, Mari, and Usagi are held as prisoners at the laboratory, with them next being interrogated by Isuka, who's surprised to see that Ikaruga managed to make some friends. Through some flashbacks, it's revealed that they were some young children scientists who began to question their purpose, with Ikaruga creating a baby, with his being a wood elf, who she named Canaria. The child recognized her as her mother, but it was concluded that she would be executed for creating a wood elf. With no magical powers, she stole the cell and tried to leave with Kananara, but the child has already been disposed of. Her sister chose to stay behind as an alchemist. Ikaruga enrolled into the Anti-Magical Academy, where any attempt by the alchemist to retrieve the cell would be akin to declaring war on the Inquisitors. Takeru doesn't really know what to say, but this being the first time she's openly talked about herself. Suganami honestly believes that she has no sense of right from wrong. Takeru doesn't believe this, however, wanting to know then, why did she want to bring back the Dark Elf? And then asking, why would she go through all this trouble and also keeping them safe in the process? Wanting to know what is her real motive? Ikaruga responds with, if he's serious about knowing, he could put her mind at ease, declaring that they might be eliminated the moment they walk out this door, so she wants to experience something with somebody else. Takeru is beyond flustered with what she does next. So this is where we leave off in today's video. If you like today's video, here's another one just like it. I'll be breaking down this anime into multiple parts. Now if you like this video, make sure to leave it a like, and why not subscribe to the channel? I'll be uploading daily videos just like this one, so I'll see you next time.